Syria, for example, which was caught up in a sectarian war that would defy outside efforts to end it. Or Ukraine, victimized by a predatory Russia, but a country with which the United States conducted a negligible amount of trade. Warming to his theme, Obama offered a brisk tour of places his White House had not started new conflicts: the Middle East, Asia, Eastern Europe. Historic achievements in foreign policy, Nixon's opening to China, were once-in-a-generation occurrences, he said. He might yet get one if the West negotiated an agreement with Iran to restrain its nuclear program. But in a world of unending strife and unreliable despotic leaders, hoping for more than that was simply not realistic. In such a world, Obama was content to hit singles and doubles, hewing to his foreign policy version of the Hippocratic Oath. As we touched down outside Malaysia's capital, Kuala Lumpur, Obama kept talking, bracing himself against the bulkhead as the tires squealed, and ordering those who were standing in the aisle to sit down. "I'm the only one who's allowed to stand," he said. "I don't want that liability." Before returning to his cabin, where he would put on a jacket and tie and jog down the stairs to another red carpet welcome in another distant land, Obama turned to the reporters and asked, "Now what's my foreign policy philosophy?" "Don't do stupid shit," we replied sheepishly, like school children taught a naughty rhyme by a subversive teacher. Obama smiled, and then was gone as abruptly as he had come. His credo hung in the air, though. At one level it seemed crude, almost juvenile, particularly coming from a man who cared deeply about words and believed in the power of language to convey ideas. And yet it had the ring of authenticity. More so than his shimmering oratory, his references to the arc of history or the spark of the divine, those 4 words seemed to capture what was for Obama the irreducible truth of being commander-in-chief of the world's remaining superpower. As a White House correspondent for the New York Times, I had traveled to a dozen countries with the president over 4 years. From a state visit to Buckingham Palace, arriving in a 30-car motorcade, to a secret mission in Afghanistan, flying at night over the Hindu Kush in Black Hawk helicopters. I questioned him at news conferences in the East Room and the Great Hall of the People, listened to him elaborate his worldview in speeches in London, Jerusalem, and Brisbane. And yet it was during a salty Saturday afternoon encounter in the back of Air Force One that Obama uttered what would become perhaps the signature slogan of his presidency, the foreign policy equivalent of "It's the economy, stupid." Soon enough, "Don't do stupid shit" entered the vernacular. Obama repeated it in a meeting with columnists and editorial writers. His advisors cited it in interviews. It was even codified in a speech he gave the following month at the United States Military Academy at West Point, an address that will surely rank as one of the most ambivalent ever delivered by an American president. The elders of the foreign policy establishment debated the wisdom and meaning of the phrase, usually amending it in a clumsy attempt to make it more family-friendly to "don't do stupid stuff." To Obama's critics, it became shorthand for the president's weak and dilatory leadership. Leadership, they said, that had relinquished America's historic and necessary role as the ultimate guarantor of world order. It seemed, in the wake of the Islamic State's brutal rampage across Syria and Iraq, and Russia's de facto invasion of Ukraine, hopelessly inadequate to a storm-tossed world. Among those critics was Hillary Clinton, his one-time rival who had become his loyal lieutenant and now aspired to be his successor. As Secretary of State, she had been intimately involved in every major foreign policy debate of his presidency. She would run for the White House in no small measure as the custodian of his legacy. And yet, once Clinton had left his cabinet at the end of the first term, she was eager to start delineating her own views about